Hey everyone, we just completed weeks 2 and 3 of My Father's World for Exploring Countries and Cultures in 1850 to Modern. And I'm going to go over some of the things that we did. It was a pretty low-key couple of weeks. Last week felt like it just went on forever. And maybe some of you guys can relate to what that kind of feels like sometimes. But it wasn't because of the curriculum, it was just life. It was life. So first, if it is your first time here, welcome. Make sure that you hit the like and the subscribe button so you can keep up with all of our homeschool things. And I hope that you guys enjoy this channel. So it seems like we had a lot more stuff to show you with exploring countries and cultures. So I'll start there. Now, for exploring countries and cultures, we are doing, Exploring Countries and Cultures is part of the My Father's World Investigate cycle. Make sure I did that right. It looks like this on the outside, and it's more of a geography rather than a history type of unit, and it ties in Bible and geography, a little bit of history, world cultures, science and art, and readers, and all kinds of fun things. This is our second time through Exploring Countries and Cultures, and this year, for my fourth grader, he actually asked us specifically to add in Apologia's swimming creatures. So while we do still do the Usborne Living World Encyclopedia and the science that it recommends in here, we put more of a bigger focus on the swimming creatures. And that looks like this. So yes, it might seem like he's doing extra work, but to my kiddo, this is not work. This is play to him. So this is a part of his favorite thing ever as far as homeschool. So we did the first book of this, which is the birds, which is flying creatures, and now we are on to swimming creatures, and he is just loving this curriculum. So I guess I will start there because that's his favorite. In this, we started the ocean box. Now the ocean box is just a box that you kind of just hollow out and you put blue paper all around, and then he's going to build little animals to go inside when it tells him to, when he gets to that in the curriculum. Now his hobby is clay. He loves to make little clay figures and animals and insects and anything that he can think of in his little tiny brain he thinks of, and he will make it out of clay. We use this stuff called magic clay. There is no putting it in the oven or anything like that. They just set it out on their desk and it hardens all on its own, and they have their own little thing. We have boxes and boxes and boxes of their creations, and we buy this stuff constantly. Like his birthday is today, and he actually asked for more for his birthday so he could build some more for his ocean box. So you could say I think we had like 10 packs of this for Christmas. It's already gone. It's only halfway through the year and we're already gone. So it comes with all these packs, and he builds them and he will stick them right in there. And knowing him, he will not make them stationary. He will have them just hanging out so he can move them the way he wants to all throughout the year. So he is really, really excited about the things coming up in here. He studied whales, and I think he studied something else last week, but ocean currents and things. Yes, he was learning about the ocean as a whole, and he started whales this week. So he was having a lot of fun in that. He started North America, and one of his art projects from the Global Art Book was little events, and he did 3, which was learning the keyboard. Which one was this one? I think I gotta ask him what this one was. And then his baptism was another one, and he made this little Native American stick project. He had a lot of fun with this one. So that was his art project. And part of my favorite thing about the curriculum was this book, the first time around, the Kingdom Tales book. This is an allegory and kind of like Narnia, but it's a little bit different, and there's a king and all kinds of people who represent people throughout the Christian walk. And this was such a great book, and I really, really enjoyed it the first time around. So I was really excited to see that we started this one again, and he is, I think, about 8 or 9 chapters in now, and this is a book that we do as a read aloud at the end of the day. So this is pretty much the last thing that we do before lunchtime. So that was the main events for his curriculum. And now my 13-year-old, he is doing Exploration to 1850. Now, he didn't have a whole lot of just big things to make this past couple weeks, but he did do a couple small things. Now, he is doing this along with teaching textbooks in Abeka as far as math and English, and it's kind of the same thing with him as well. So they both kind of have the same, I guess, how would you say it? I guess they have the same main curriculums, but they have different versions. So he's doing everything for 8th grade, and my youngest is doing everything on a 4th grade level. So that's what he's doing. He is in 8th grade doing Exploration 1850, and he so far is really enjoying it. He started memorizing the book of James, and he so far has done really, really well with the memorization. We haven't had any issues with it. He's finding that it's a lot easier than he thought it would be to start memorizing, so he's not struggling, which is great. And he is reviewing the verses before he goes to bed, and he is acing the quizzes on Fridays. So he's doing that. For his main art project this week, he just finished his wigwam for history. He's got to do the dome at the top. He was waiting for it to dry, and then I think he's going to make a door as well. And then he also wants to make figures for this using clay. It's his hobby as well. So both of them have the same hobby. So he will be finishing up that this week. As far as music, he has been into these CDs for composers that came with My Father's World. And for science, so far his favorite thing is also science, and he is doing the Apologia Exploring Creation with Physical Science book. He has found that he is really enjoying this, which I'm glad to see that he's definitely into the STEM type of things. We did go ahead and get the big notebook because I figured that that would make it a little bit easier for him, and I think that was a really good move on my part. Every now and then I do a good thing, and this was one of those things. He is loving the notebook. He is learning how to do the calculations, and I think I might get him a big periodic table of elements. I just haven't figured out where I'm going to put it yet. So he is doing that, and he is doing the equations inside of his notebook, and he is really thoroughly enjoying it. He said that so far this has been his favorite science. So super happy to see that. He's having a lot of fun with that one. And then as far as history, he learned all about King James and Jamestown, and he is learning the very, very early history of America, and so far he's really enjoying it. And he also learned some of his Corinthians verses here as well, and we have that out as a placeholder and as kind of just like a helper throughout the week, and he was reading that too. As far as books, he is reading the Almost Home and the Story of the World Volume 3 that came with the My Father's World curriculum, and so far he's really enjoying both of those too. We haven't found anything that has been boring so far in Exploration to 1850, which is great, especially for a 13-year-old boy. So he so far is just having a ball with it. I think the only thing that he has really kind of put up a fuss with is the notebooking, but that's because he's a 13-year-old boy. But the notebooking serves a very special purpose, and we do make sure that he does that every day. The notebooking is basically just a retelling of what they learned, and I do allow him to draw. He does love to doodle and things like that, so I am allowing him to draw on his picture or on his notebooking but as long as he labels it really well and thoroughly, I'm allowing him to do it that way. So there are ways around it, especially if you have like a 13-year-old like me who just doesn't like this type of thing. Think larger outside of just what they tell you in the curriculum. Think a little bit bigger and a little bit broader. that's all I got for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I cannot wait to show you guys what we are learning in the next coming weeks as we start the United States and as we go a little bit further in exploration to 1850. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.